Welcome to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I'm Morgan, and I'm thrilled to be your host and wellness coach as we navigate the path to a healthier, more confident you. As the owner of Get Fit With Me, I bring years of experience in personal training, nutrition, and coaching to each episode. Join me as we explore practical tips and strategies for fitness, nutrition, mindset, and more, all tailored for busy women just like you. Let's empower your wellness journey and achieve lasting transformation together. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to an episode of the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I'm your host and coach, Morgan Ekovich, and today we're going to talk about vegetables. And some of you may know this, but I know a lot of you don't. I used to be the kid that hated, and when I say hated, I mean capitals, bolded, underlined, italicized, exclamation points, stars all over it. I hated vegetables. I liked carrots, corn, iceberg lettuce, and broccoli if there was enough salt and butter on it. And I hated vegetables. And there was something about it to the point where when we had peas or green beans or a vegetable that I did not like for dinner, I would literally only eat one. I would essentially fight of like, I'm not going to eat these. And I would be forced to have one. Forced meaning I was told to, and I probably pushed back a little harder than I needed to. But I was a little stubborn because they were vegetables and they were disgusting. Or if they were peas, I was given 3 to 5 of them. Little ridiculous. 3 to 5 peas. And I would swallow them like pills with my glass of milk. So all of that being said, that is how much I used to hate vegetables. Now, fast forward, I'm 30 now, and I love vegetables. Don't get me wrong. There's some that I'm still not like super fond of, but I love vegetables. And there's reasons that I think that this has happened. And there's a few. Number one, your taste buds change. So it's important that we are continuing to test and try out these vegetables. Even if we didn't like it a couple years ago, try it again. Our taste buds change and evolve. For instance, if you saw a post I did probably about a month or two ago now about mushrooms. I used to hate mushrooms. Like I would literally pick them off pizza. I would pick them out of things. Like unless they were so small diced up that I couldn't get them out, I would take them out of it. Well, now I love mushrooms. I've learned how to cook them and they are delicious and they are flavorful. Do I like them raw? No. But to me, that is huge strides from where I used to be, of completely disgusted by them, didn't even want to touch them or wash them, to, okay, I can tolerate them enough to cook them for somebody else. Okay, I now like them cooked. I just don't like them raw. So there's an evolution in how our taste buds change and how we tend to start to like foods we didn't used to like, or vice versa. I know a lot of people who used to like something growing up and they don't like it as an adult now. Things change. The other thing that happens though with vegetables is depending on how you were raised, vegetables in our household were typically boiled. It was like a bag of frozen peas, frozen veggies, frozen broccoli. It was all frozen, which is easy and convenient, and I love frozen stuff, but it was thrown with some water and it was boiled, and then we added salt and butter to it, and that was it. There wasn't a ton of extra flavor or texture change or depth to the vegetables. And some of you may be thinking, it's vegetables. How much depth does there need to be? I will tell you, how you prepare and how you cook vegetables has a huge impact on how your body likes them. For instance, broccoli, used to love broccoli. I've ate too much broccoli a certain way recently. I've kind of started to get a little ick with it. So I'm noticing that instead of continuing to prepare and cook the broccoli that gives me the ick right now, I'm either taking a break from broccoli or I'm going to be making it a different way just to switch it up so that I still continue to like it and have it in rotation, but I'm not eating something that gives me that ick feeling. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, think about like when you touch something gross on your fingers, that feeling. If you eat the same thing too often or the same way, some of you get that feeling. If you are pregnant, when your hormones change, that also happens. I have a client who she has it with eggs. She ate so many eggs for so long. So it's not just with veggies. All that being said, there are so many different ways that you can eat and prepare and consume veggies. You can have canned veggies, frozen veggies. Honestly, right now are my absolute favorite, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. But frozen veggies, you have fresh veggies, you have raw, you have cooked, you have steamed, you have blanched, you have boiled, you have microwave steamed. There's so many different ways to prepare. You can have them sauteed, like so many different ways. So if you're like, Morgan, I just freaking hate vegetables, it's never going to be a thing I like, I challenge you to get rid of that saying and to think about, how have you actually tried these veggies in the past? Have you only had them raw? Try them cooked. I just named off 4 or 5 different ways to eat veggies that are not even raw. So that's the first thing. Vegetables are important, and how we cook and prepare them is even more important to how our body responds when we eat them, and if we even like the taste of them. The other reason we're talking about vegetables today, other than so that I could share with you how much I hated it, and that if you hate it, there is still hope for you, because I now love them, is the fact that we are doing a Transform Your Life 14-Day Wellness Challenge this month. If you've listened to our 2 previous episodes this month, you will have already have heard about this. But one of the 3 main things that you are focusing on every single day is getting 3 servings of vegetables in. And I'm saying this, and I've chosen this number for a specific reason. Most women, when they come to me, they eat 1 to 2 servings per day. And the 1 to 2 servings is typically a salad at lunch and then a veggie at dinner. That is just where we have like decided we're going to have our veggies go. That's not how they have to look like. I started a flexible meal plan in January, and leading up to my Cabo trip that I did at the end of January, early February. And since I've gotten home, I've continued to stay on it, keeping the same boundaries. I'm not following it to a T of I need to eat this and this and this. No, but like for instance, one of the things is having 5 servings of vegetables per day. Some of you are like, you want to turn this podcast off right now because I just told you I eat 5 servings of vegetables per day. I know. It is a lot of food. It is a lot of freaking vegetables. But what I will say, it has been a game changer. 1, it's helped increase my fiber intake. 2, it's allowed me to eat more food that is nutrient dense, that gives my body exactly what it needs without taking my calories really high. That is the struggle when it comes to carbs and protein sometimes, is if we are having like a potato or rice as our carb, if we're having pasta, or if we're having something super fatty as that protein, we end up increasing calories without getting the same nutrients that our body needs. So vegetables is a really great way to get more volume, to help us feel full, to help get our body the nutrients it needs without taking those calories up too high. And if we are working on losing weight and losing fat, it is important that we are in a calorie deficit while we are maintaining that protein intake and while we are strength training. So first thing I'm going to challenge you to think about here is, how many servings of vegetables are you getting a day? If you do not know, you need to log your food for a week. Once you know, I want you to be aware of, is it only at dinners? Is it at lunch and dinners? Am I getting a snack here and there? What does it look like? And try to take it up by 1 more serving. When we are measuring vegetables, and I keep talking about servings here, I don't necessarily mean go get a measuring cup, go get a scale and measure. No, I want you to think about a fist. We want a fist-sized serving of vegetables. We want at least 3 of these per day. So if you have little baby hands, you don't have to eat as many vegetables. More is always better. But if you are somebody who has big hands, or you really don't like vegetables, maybe you start with half a fist and then you move up to a fist, or you start to spread it out throughout your day so it's not just 1 big serving of vegetables. I prefer you not have 5 servings of vegetables or 3 servings of vegetables at 1 meal. Don't recommend that. Partly because too much vegetables sometimes can cause the belly to get upset, which then means we could feel a little bloated, or we could end up in the bathroom. So it's really good that as we increase and as we build all this up, we're trying to space it out throughout our day. I do a cup of veggies in my omelet in the morning. That's a mixture between peppers and spinach. For lunch, I usually have 1.5 to 2 cups of veggies. My go-to has literally been frozen veggies. I've been buying zucchini and squash and broccoli and cauliflower recently, and I've been roasting that. and cooking it in a pan, sauteing it, doing all of that. And honestly, I am so tired of that I have gone strictly to frozen veggies for the last 2 weeks. And I have no shame in that. It is so convenient. I've got rice cauliflower. I've got a few different stir-fried mixes. I've got broccoli. I've got edamame. I've got the mixed veggies. I've got the cauliflower, broccoli, carrot one, whatever that one is. Like, there's so many different combinations and there's so many different types. You can get just about any vegetable frozen as you can get fresh. Here's the thing though, is what that means is when you have a raw vegetable, you're most likely coating it in oil and you're putting it in the oven. That is going to be one of the best ways I have found for vegetables like that. Or like if it's a squash or zucchini, I'll cut it up. I put it in a pan with seasonings and a little bit of olive oil and I saute it. When you have frozen, you have to get a little bit more creative because you have to think about if you put that in a pan, it's going to defrost, which is going to create more water. So you got to make sure you pour some of the water out. At that point, you can then add some olive oil, or you can do exactly what I've been doing. Pop that thing in the microwave for however many minutes it tells you to. When it comes out, cut it, put it in your bowl. Like, super simple. That being said, we are all different. So if you don't know if you like frozen veggies, don't go out and buy a ton of them. I have a deep freeze and I was so tired of preparing fresh veggies that I kind of went a little overboard. But it's been really nice to be able to go down, and I made an Asian beef stir fry a couple days ago and I was able to grab my thing of veggie stir fry that I didn't have to cut or prep. For $1.20, I think it was at Aldi, I got a bag that I was literally able to just throw into a stir fry, as well as a whole bag of cauliflower rice that I was able to just throw into a stir fry. And right there was a perfect way to get more veggies in my day. So when we're thinking about our veggies, there's not a right way or a wrong way, or there's a, oh, I can't eat the veggies that way because they don't count. Vegetables are vegetables. Eat the damn vegetables and try to get 3 of them in, because you will feel and see a difference in your body when we start to eat more of them. And that is one of the things in our Transform Your Life 14-day challenge that is happening right now that you can still sign up for till the end of the month. We are going to be focusing on that. And I will be holding you accountable to, hey, what are your 3 veggies for the day? Awesome. When are you going to eat them? Perfect. Do you have any vegetables at the house for the week? No. Okay, you need to do a grocery store pickup. Like, there is group accountability and there's one-on-one accountability you're going to get in those 14 days. So let's talk about some practical tips for getting more veggies in throughout the day. Because like I said, if you're somebody who is not having very many, and even the thought of 3 fist-sized servings is overwhelming to you, it's going to feel like a roadblock. It's going to feel like, how the hell am I going to do this? So number 1, if you are somebody who does breakfast wraps or omelets or things like that, it's an easy way to add chopped up veggies into there. Like I said, I do a cup in the morning with my omelet or with my eggs. I don't even omelet it because I'm not patient enough. It's more of a veggie egg scramble and it's perfect. The other thing you can do is, if you're a smoothie person, you can throw a bunch of veggies in a smoothie in the morning. I am hit and miss on my feelings about smoothies, partly because sometimes our ratios aren't quite there. So if you're doing a bunch of veggies and you're doing some yogurt and you're doing just a little bit of fruit, and the reason I say a little bit is smoothies and fruit are one where all of a sudden we go from like, this is a serving of fruit and this is good, to like half a bag of fruit into the smoothie that like, we don't need that much all at once. So keep that in mind. But putting some with breakfast, having some at lunch. One of my I guess this is more of a snack I've been having, but I will take turkey deli meat and I will take either Laughing Cow cheese or hummus or no cheese at all. It just kind of depends. Sometimes if I have like a block of mozzarella, I'll cut like really thin strips. And then I take peppers and I take peppers and I cut them really thin and I make these little veggie roll-ups in turkey. It's phenomenal. It's delicious. It's a nice little snack. Making sure that we are adding veggies. If we're having a wrap at lunch, adding some extra veggies to that. If you're having a soup, can you have a side salad with it? If you're having a sandwich, what vegetable can you pair it? Right? One of my clients loves carrots. He eats a ton of carrots. So dinner should not be your last chance to get your veggies in. In a perfect world, like I said, this is a perfect world. A lot of you don't like veggies at breakfast. Totally understand that. I haven't really got into it until this year. That being said, I want you, if we're aiming for 3, I want you to think of 1 at lunch, 1 at a snack, and 1 at dinner. Because I don't want you to have to feel like dinner comes and you're trying to eat 3 fist-sized servings of vegetables at dinner. So when we are thinking about this, planning ahead of like, okay, what is my snack going to be this week? It's going to be carrots and hummus. Awesome. Have your carrots and hummus or your peppers and hummus or your broccoli and hummus, whatever it is. Hummus is a really great snack. They come in those single serve packets. For lunch, your lunch may look the same every day. What is your vegetable being paired? And then dinner is probably the vegetable that's going to be a little bit more on rotation. But being able to just know, have those veggies in the freezer for those late nights when you're just coming home and you know you need to have some. The family needs it, not just you. Everybody in the family needs the vegetables. So some of the other ways that you can kind of trick yourself into is cauliflower rice. I love it. You can make it if you'd like from scratch. I've done that enough times. Personally, buy the frozen bag. So much easier. It tastes just as good in my opinion. But what you can do is if you're making ground beef or like that stir fry that I made, it's the same texture as ground beef or like ground turkey or ground chicken, that like ground texture. I pop it in the microwave to make sure it's like almost all the way cooked, and then I'll put it through a strainer to get any excess water, and then I'll pop it in with that, and then I will season my meat. And in there, you have hidden vegetables inside with your meat. So if you have a kid who is picky, who will not eat vegetables, this is a fantastic way. Hide them. They also taste really good when it comes to, they kind of taste like hash browns. So you can make them in the morning. You can do them in your pan. It takes a little bit longer because, like I said, there's a decent amount of moisture to them. But you can season them and then you can put them and make them kind of crispy. And then you have like veggie hash browns, and nobody's going to know. I'm not saying to get rid of the hash browns. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying ways to sneak it in there. The other thing is get yourself a veggie tray. If you're someone who's like, oh, I want raw veggies, but I always buy a head of broccoli and I never cut it, or a head of cauliflower, stop buying it. Stop buying it if it keeps going to waste. Instead, buy a veggie tray. It's a little bit more expensive, but if you'll actually eat it, literally put it out on the counter right when you guys get home and have everybody snack and graze on that. I see people who have those big circle Lazy Susan ones, and that right there is a really great way to fill that at the start of the week. And every night when you get home, put it on the counter, let everybody snack on it. When we have something like that out, your family is going to snack on it over anything else that they go looking for in the cabinet. So big veggie trays, even those small ones, when you're traveling, grab a few of them and pop them in your mini fridge so you've got those. Those are really good hacks that you can take with you on the go. So I want us to get ready to wrap up here. I did not realize I could talk about vegetables this much. I'm going to be completely honest, because from somebody who has hated vegetables in the past, I apparently really like them now, and I could talk about them forever. So I'm going to just kind of circle back to why eating enough vegetables matters. Vegetables are rich sources of fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and they are associated with lowering risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and some cancers when consumed on a regular basis as part of a balanced diet. So in this challenge that we are doing, the other 2 things we're focusing on is water and sleep. 2 other crucial things we need to focus on. That third piece is what we talked about today, that vegetable intake. 3 fist-sized servings. That's it. If you don't know how many you're eating, track your food for a couple days and see, okay, I'm only having them at dinner. Okay, great. I'm noticing that. Can I add it in at lunch? How can you prepare that? A bag of carrots is probably one of the easiest if you like carrots. That is just one of the easiest. You can buy it and be done. Cucumbers are another great one. You can cut those up, put those in a container. So all of that being said, please eat your vegetables. I never thought I'd be this passionate about vegetables, but it has been a game changer for me. Like I said, I started on a flexible meal plan, followed it, came back from vacation, still following it, more to the making sure I get the quantity of vegetables in that day. And some days I am freaking tired of eating them. Other days I'm excited, but I know that I'm not eating them because I'm always excited. I'm eating them because it's what my body needs, and I know how great it feels when I fuel it the proper way. So now that you guys have heard my vegetable rant of the day, I want to make sure that you go and check out the show notes. That's the easiest way for you to jump into our Transform Your Life 14-Day Wellness Challenge. You can join the challenge through the end of the month, and then we're going to be shutting that down, and we won't reopen it for a couple more months. So go ahead, check it out. 14 days of accountability for just $14. Go ahead, check that out in the show notes. And then for those of you who are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button this year. Make sure to, so you can stay up to date on this content as well as all other content we've got coming out. So until next time, you guys, happy Thursday, and I'll see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in to the EmpowerHer Wellness Podcast. I hope you found today's episode inspiring and packed with actionable tips. Remember, your journey to becoming the strongest, most confident version of yourself is just beginning. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode and join our community of empowered women. Until next time, stay strong and stay confident.